Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Racha, Quadash, double honors unto the apostles and elders of the great millstone and rule well, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. This is another epistle to be determined upon upload. I basically want to get into Esau's hold over the world, man. Alright. Imagery is a big thing, okay, and Esau's utilized imagery to the best of his ability in wickedness, alright. And the key thing to remember, a lot of people, a lot of other Israelite groups, they tend to say, the mark of the beast is Caesar Borgia, which, and them saying that shows you how much power Caesar has, but which is totally off. But Caesar Borgia is more in line with the image of the beast, alright, but not so much that Caesar Borgia is the image of the beast in itself. It's that in part it's kind of like a fitting symbology of the image of the beast, because ultimately what it's doing is personifying so-called white imagery, the so-called white man, as God, basically, which in all the other ethics that fall in line with the image of the beast, for example, democracy, LGBTQ, equal rights, all these different factors that boil into the image of the beast. It shows you that in order for the mark to be established, there has to be a system where Esau is personified as God. All right, and I was inspired by watching the apostles street speaking of how basically you had the Cuban, Jamaican guy come up, man, and basically have some words, some words of ill. Not words of ill, sorry, but more or less like, there were words of ill, but more or less coming against the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, with his rhetoric talking about Moab and all that kind of stuff. But Esau's the guy, man. Esau's the one with all the power. So I wanted to get into that and just show how much the power of his imagery and things of that nature. So this is Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. So the first thing it says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So the Most High, who set up one and putteth down another, is basically handed the power of the earth into the hand of the wicked. Alright? And it tells you in Proverbs the 16th chapter, it tells you that the wicked will create for the day of evil. So befittingly enough, you understand that if you understand anything, Malachi the 1st chapter tells you that Esau is the wicked, alright, because it clarifies that wherever he goes is the borders of wickedness, right? But we're going to further establish that as we go on. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof, alright, because it tells you in the book of 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, that he, as God, sitteth, about the falling away. Paul speaks of the falling away coming first, and then the son of perdition basically sitting up in the church, basically, and setting himself up as God, the Most High power. Alright, that's part of him covering the faces of the judges thereof, okay, which was a thing that was done in the book of Maccabees, 1 Maccabees 3:48, where it says about where the heathen sought to paint their likeness. They opened the book of the law on where the heathen sought to paint their likeness. Iconoclasm, alright? Changing the imagery of the Bible into another thing. Into heathen imagery, okay? So, and that's where you have the whole thing with another Jesus, man, alright? In the book of Corinthians. But it says it covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So there's only one who did that, alright? There's only one set of people that did that. Who else did it? There ain't no one else. All right. So we're gonna establish that by an example, a key example at that. So this first Maccabees 1:1, and it happened after that Alexander son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Shittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. Right? So basically, this is talk about Alexander, who Esau Edom personifies as the great, right? Which really is just another, he's an Edomite basically, alright? Great in wickedness. So it says, who came out of the land of Shittim, has smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. Okay? So basically he reigned over Greece. And you know what this word says? It says civilization started with Greece, alright, with the Greeks. So basically saying that, you know, if it wasn't for the Greeks existing on this earth, that everyone would be, you know, barbarians and barbaric and wouldn't know how to, you know, live a righteous life or a civilized form of lifestyle. Okay? And made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth and went through the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch the earth was quiet before him. Right? Because the Lord raised him up, as it tells you in the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter and also the 8th chapter, about the goat, man. So whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up. Alright, so he got proud. Okay, and he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him. And after these things he fell sick and perceived that he should die. Alright. Wherefore you see that's the common theme in the word, man. That anytime someone boasts himself up and tend to believe that there's somebody, that basically the Lord humbles them, man, through the form of death. Okay, showing them that you know, it was him that really raised him up. Wherefore he called his servants such as were honourable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them, while he was yet alive. Okay, so now this is leading into the point. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule everyone in his place. And after his death they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied upon the earth. So yeah, after they did what they did, evils were multiplied upon the earth. And you know, basically showing you that when the Greek civilization, starting with the Greeks, was really the beginning of the evil, man, upon the earth. Wickedness really taking hold over the earth. Okay, so you know, everyone, and the reason why I read that is because everyone believes that this so-called white man, Esau Edom, is the righteous man, but the Bible blatantly explains that he's the devil. He's the devil, basically. Okay. So I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna finish up on this. It says, "Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord." And ultimately, with that example as well, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, going back to that time. Okay. And this is as it tells you in the book of Revelations, about the wound of the beast being healed and it being unloosed from their cage, basically, for a season. That's the period we're in. This is a continuation. This is the beast 2.0, basically. Okay. Arise, shine. It's Isaiah 60:1. I'm going to read down to verse 2. It says, "Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee." Alright? And it has, because the glory of the Lord is what? Yahweh Shai, man. Alright? It tells you in the book of John, the 8th chapter, that basically Yahweh Shai said, "I am the light of the world," man. Alright? Because he's basically, as I'm going to read on into, that there's darkness in the earth. Alright? So basically, when you come into this faith, there's a good meme that basically shows the power of reading. It's like you open a book, the book's got light, then you read the book, and then when you walk, you have light, and you can see in the dark, right? And obviously, Revelations, the first chapter says, "Blessed is he that readeth," and readeth what? The word, all right? And who is the word? Who's the embodiment of the word? Yahweh Shai, okay? So Yahweh Shai is the embodiment of the word, and you know, he enlightens us, okay, and enables us to see in the dark, right? And that's why it says in John the 3rd chapter as well that, you know, the John the Baptist came to bear witness of the light. He wasn't the light of the world, but he came to bear witness of the light, and the light of the world was in the world, and those of the world didn't didn't like light. So I can't remember how it's worded, but basically men loved evil, they loved darkness, so they couldn't get in the light, basically. Alright, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people, but the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. Alright? And the glory of the Lord is what? Yahweh Shai. Okay? And having the glory of Yahweh Shai upon us, we're able to see in the darkness and to bear witness of his light, so we can bear record of him. So with that, man, I pray you were edified. Say shalom.